What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Sorry, I had to change things up on you guys tonight. I don't usually like to do that. Not a fan of that at all. So, do apologize. I just have to be able to give something my complete, full attention. So when I can't, got to make a change. So again, thanks for, if anybody's still over at that other thread over there, hopefully they see like my face is lit up. It says like Lana's live or something like that. But yeah, woo, lots to talk about. I'm gonna try to whip through some things. Here you go. First things first.
Office of Police Accountability have resigned. John Meyer and Diane Luce both resigned back on February 3rd. A spokesperson with the city of Boise says they cannot comment on the resignations because they are a personnel matter. Their resignations come nearly 2 months after the director of the OPA, Jesus Jara, was fired. Boise Mayor Lauren McLean fired Jara for allegedly watching police body camera video without cause. This leaves just 2 people left within the OPA office, the interim director and an office administrator. Jara has since filed a lawsuit claiming the city, against the city that is, claiming he was fired in retaliation after recommending Mayor McLean fire former police chief Ryan Lee.
So that's first things first is Boise dropping like flies. Second thing, I mean, we're going to get to it. I'm sure it broke the internet. I watched the 10-minute video of Justin. So, but back when I told you guys about the guy that was fired for watching body cam, there's a follow-up. And that was a little clip of the 2 people that also now resigned from the Boise Police Department. Let's see. Boy. All right, the second thing where I have some paperwork for you guys to see has to do with Brian. There you go. This is, everyone get link from the other chat. I hope so. I just started. So I know you're like, oh, but what does it all mean? Again, just sorting through things. Want to get you guys some information. Want to talk about it. This is the Pleasant Valley School District. This is the meetings, the minutes, the meeting minutes, and this is the paperwork that has Brian Kohlberger being assigned right here. Oopsies. On August 27, 2021, Brian Kohlberger replaced Radcliffe, and the current position was a casual security guard. The new position is part-time security. So this was in the meeting minutes from that district. So he was hired August 27th, 2021. Brian Kohlberger was, that's that security guard position. That's what this paperwork is. August 26th, 2021 was the date of the meeting. And it just goes through like whatever they were, discussing that needed to be discussed for that meeting. This was all the meeting notes. And lo and behold, again, Pleasant Valley School District. The minutes of the August 26, 2021 Board of Education meeting. Board approved on 9/9/2021. There's all the roll call, all that, and then boom, Brian and his part-time security. So not sure if you guys have seen that, but there it is. Next up. Oh boy. Somebody was asking if I can confirm something. Let's see. I have to share this. Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Fry has been taken into FBI custody. Have you guys seen this? We found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Fry in Oak Park at the time of the murders. The bloody shoe print along with the knife. Have you guys seen this? What? This is Justin. This is the same dude that did this. What do you call it? This video. He put this out here. The double homicide case of Tom Johnson and Leslie Jones is now closed thanks to yours truly working with the FBI and Oak Park PD as well as Kohlberger's defense team. What? That's what I said. What? Is this for real? That's what I want to know. Is this for real? So check this out. Was posting on social media. Okay, gag. What? So my question is Fry going to be able to speak on this? Like, Justin William, what? Does anybody know about this? He's a fraud, was on JLR. It's all BS. Is it all BS? So let me ask you guys this. What happens when someone does this? Like, I'm just blown away. No, it's not BS. Yes, it is BS. You get what I'm saying? Check this out. Ready? They get clicks. Oh, stop sharing. I literally get woken up this morning with a couple emails, and I'm like, "What the? What is this? What is this?" Share something.
At the 1122 key. On Monday of last week, Dylan Mortensen was attacked by 3 men. These 3 men, plus an additional man, are the killers who were inside the 1122 Keene house on the night of November 13th. Now, I want to name their names, but I probably shouldn't. I've already received threats in the past, and I'm not exactly looking forward to getting more. Due to the extra ridiculous, unconstitutional as hell gag order, Dylan cannot talk and tell her story. But I can. I am working for the defense off the books, and I am not subject to the gag order. Any intel fed to me is through a means of communication that does not break the gag order. That information from my informant gives me legal grounds to speak on this topic and to tell Dylan's story for her. The reason Dylan was attacked is because, yes, Dylan is trans.
I'm gonna refrain for a minute, and then I'm gonna let this play.
You heard me right. Dylan is trans. I know this to be a fact. This is information that I exclusively know.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I have a middleman, my informant, who is talking to Dylan for me. When I say that I have informants and sources, I'm really not joking about it. They're really legitimate. I'm also being attacked due to being trans, as I have gotten closer and closer to the truth of what all happened in Moscow. I've been getting more and more resistance, pushback, and I have even had, assault and death threats. Which, for those of you who are responsible for those threats, I've already given them to a lawyer. Have fun with that. I'm absolutely the wrong trans guy to screw around with. I always tell you, fuck around and find out. Well, fuck around and find out. I'm not going to back down from this challenge because I'm not afraid of the challenge. Challenges such as going through the entire process of transitioning from female to male, including 20 full years of transition. That's social, legal, medical, surgical, everything. I have fully transitioned. I am now post-transition, including phalloplasty surgery. I breezed right through it, had all 4 stages done in less than a year and a half. I'm completely done with phalloplasty. So, I'm pretty sure I'm an expert on this topic. Pretty sure it's also not the place of someone who is not trans to be telling this story or talking about this topic. I mean, that said, shall we get to the meat and potatoes of it? Thanks, harsh reality. I'm stealing that from you. When Dylan was attacked last week, she suffered kidney damage due to blunt force trauma. Her injuries from this attack are more severe than anyone understands due to a specific combination of medications that Dylan has been taking. These specific medications can cause high blood pressure, heart problems, and type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes is why Dylan was put on lisinopril. Lisinopril treats all 3 of these problems at the same time. which is why they did not give her something stronger and faster acting to treat the kidney problems. The medications would have interacted and caused more problems, which nobody wants, right? So, this is also why Dylan has to have dialysis right now. Because the hormone therapy caused these other problems. And you know, her kidney is at 50% functionality because of the diabetes by itself. And, you know, she has to be on dialysis because of that. And right now, last I was told, she is still potentially waiting for a transplant. Potentially, we don't really know yet. But originally, the night of November 13th, Dylan's life was spared because she was a loyal friend to Bethany Funky. And Dylan had life-changing surgery on January 27th of this year. She arrived home roughly February 7th or 8th. The three men found out about her surgery. It scared them, and it made them not trust her. Which brings us full circle back to Monday, February 13th, 2022. Dylan wasn't supposed to survive this attack. We don't know how they found Dylan or got to her, but they did. Dylan has already been brought into PC before the attack occurred. Dylan is now talking and cooperating in order to help bring justice to all the victims of the events of November 13th, 2022. Dylan wants to come out and tell this story, but she's not being allowed to because of the gag order. I was chosen to speak for her. She has been following me, my story, and she wants to speak to me. Which potentially I will be doing that on Wednesday. There is a chance I will get an exclusive conversation with Dylan on Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to that. Because it's not the place of someone who is not trans to be telling you this information and sharing this story with you. That's the truth of Dylan being trans. And I just think it's really cool that I get to be the one to tell you. It's a big deal that means a lot to a lot of people. I normally don't make these videos. I normally don't out other people. I normally don't tell their stories for them. This is a special situation. There are extenuating circumstances to an absolutely insane degree. And, you know, I'm not going to leave Dylan's side. If she wants to be my friend, I will stay by her side the rest of her life. She is family. I've got her 6. I will not back down from a fight to protect her. I will not back down from a fight to clear her name and restore her reputation. These people who did this need to be brought to justice. And I am hoping and praying that Wednesday, these 3 individuals will go down for what they've done. I hate when trans people are attacked by people who don't want to open their minds and have conversations. They want to jump to false narratives and lies and making trans people out to be something we're not. Because there are a lot of people out there who are not trans, but they are claiming trans, and they're setting just a horrible, horrible example for the rest of us. It's causing those of us who are actually trans to not be taken seriously. And that by itself, that didn't help Dylan at all. That made things worse for Dylan. And I mean, let's think about it. She was in Moscow, Idaho. That town is controlled by Christ Church and the cartel. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. And I have more than enough evidence to back it up. This town is not exactly a place where someone who is trans would want to be. Nor would people who are gay and bi. which makes sense of why they all lived together in that house. None of them were entirely straight. Not one of them. Ethan wasn't dating Xana. Xana was Ethan's beard. Ethan was bi, if not gay. And he was hooking up with Hudson. And potentially some other people who I'm not going to name their names right now, but they know who they are. And I absolutely cannot wait for them to face justice. Because you don't attack someone who is trans and get away with it. Not around me, not in front of me. It just doesn't happen. I really am the wrong trans guy to piss the fuck off. I keep warning you. Fuck around and find the fuck out. Guess what? You fucked around, now you're finding out. I'm not sorry. And that's the tea. So, until next time, I love you, fam. Yo.
Okay, so when I saw that, I said, if he's lying, how is he not in jail? How can you go out and say this if it's not true? How do you get away with saying this if it's not true? Is that Justin? I'm confused. This is the Justin that put this out on a video. And I don't understand if you're really working with the FBI and the defense. I don't understand how something like this could happen if it's not true, and how this person wouldn't be in trouble. I don't know. But what's interesting about all of this was this name that he put up, his name in that post I just showed. Where was it? There's been a person by the name of Justin that's been trying to contact a bunch of people and talk about a bunch of different things. And it has to do with, the stuff that's been going on in this area and ties to other places. And one of the places was that Chicago double homicide of the stabbings. That's actually something that I was looking into. So the only reason I actually wanted to remotely mention this and show this was because of the video, but the post had talked about the elder couple, 67-year-old and 69-year-old, the husband and wife that were stabbed in Chicago. He is not part of the gag order. Oh, I'm well aware he's not part of the gag order. I'm saying that for somebody to come out and say something like this, he didn't just say something, like he said a lot. He said a lot of things that, I mean, oof. Somebody keeps on putting, where was BF that night? I don't know. Yeah, and they haven't took the video down yet. Thank you. That's what I was saying. If it was fake and whatever, like, don't you think that they'd be all over that people would have reported that to YouTube and that would have been down like that? It's not. Like, hold on one second. Let me see. And then so that video is in my inbox, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh great, it's gonna go viral. But if that wasn't enough, it was, where is this? Yeah, like you don't even know how many people emailed that to me. Here it is. For those of you guys that just joined. Let me go back to, hold on. Where are all of you guys? So again, there is a reason I did this. You guys remember me talking about Papa Rogers the other night? And we were talking about who we thought it was and stuff like that. Well, when, oh boy. Look at that. Justin William Popworth Rodriguez. Pop Raj. So check this out. Remember we were talking about Papa Rogers. This is this Justin William, Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Fry has been taken into FBI custody. He is facing a minimum of 2 murder charges. We found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Fry in Oak Park, which is Chicago, Illinois, at the time of the murders. The bloody shoe prints, along with the knife that has canine DNA on it, sealed the deal. The double homicide case of Tom Johnson and Leslie Jones is now closed, thanks to yours truly working with the FBI and Oak Park PD, as well as Kohlberger's defense team. So people can say they don't believe in the video. I don't know. And you guys, I don't know. I scratched my head thinking who could possibly come out and say this stuff, and families and people not go crazy. But then when I saw this and I saw the last name, I was like, well, then he's talking about, remember Papa Rogers was talking about, then I said it was somebody with law enforcement. That video came out today, or like it came out, it was like in the middle of the night. So don't you think it would be all over the news? Actually, no, I don't. I have no idea. I have no clue. I have no clue. But this dude in the video is Papa Twinkie. Sorry, I had to laugh out loud for that. The video, I already played the video. Just run it back. Let me do something really quick here. Do me a favor, make yourself known. Use your voice, use your thumbs. Thumbs up the video, thumbs down the video. You have a voice, make it known. Again, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that they came back and ruled and said that the 19-year-old WSU student, they ruled it a suicide, his death. I posted it on my community tab. Just really, really sad to see that. So make sure you guys check that out. They didn't even like post anything out on WSU's like Facebook page or nothing. Crazy. Again, I have no idea if any of this is remotely true. All I wanted to point out was that the video and this, unless somebody is messing with whatever, but this screen shot of a post is the same picture of that Justin. It's the same Justin person that was in the video. And he has been, allegedly working on that case, the Chicago case. I can't believe that YouTube hasn't taken it down, says Mandy Joe. Maybe YouTube can't. I don't know what's. So I think that I know that the families aren't subject to the gag order either. So I'm curious to see if any of the families are going to come forward with this. Or if they're just going to be like, it's just, we're not even commenting on that. But the stuff that he's saying, if it's not true, you would think that something like this, how isn't authorities all over something like this? You're basically you're putting targets on people possibly. Dylan was attacked. What? She had life-changing surgery at the end of January and just got out of the hospital like the 8th or the 9th. The murder of the couple, that was in 2020. And then the Oregon murder was in 2021. So is everyone replaying this? No, I actually was not even going to play it until I got this screenshot, until this. Because the thing that was interesting to me was the Popworth Rodriguez. And the stuff that's interesting is that Papa Rogers mentions the sheath. I feel like knew about things. Harsh Reality took his video down. What did Harsh Reality do? I have no idea. It's just not right. I agree. I don't understand why this would even be necessary to put out there. Again, I have no idea if it's true. I'm surprised that it's still up. I have no idea what was up there. Hello.
Hey, that help?
Yeah, I'm live right now, so I'll give you a call back here in a minute.
Well, let me go to your live then. Bye.
Okay, bye. Hold on, let me go to one of my sources. Sorry about that. Oh, what is up, C. Shipley? Good to see your name again. There's actually lots of connections with Chicago, like Brent Kapaka. He has connections to Chicago. People from the Moscow Police Department. Hannah Clary's dad has ties to Chicago. It's actually a lot, way more so than I thought when I was digging in. Again, I'll eventually get to this with the episodes that I'm doing. That comes down later. But there's actually a lot of ties with Chicago. What's up, Bella? Hopefully you're enjoying your birthday week. Oh my god, I thought you were. So yeah, I question everything, but I really wanted to point out this with the last name and the whole. Do you guys think that this Justin person is Papa Rogers? I want tell me what you guys think. Put it in chat. Oh, do you want me to give you like yes or no's? Yeah. Papa Roger was law enforcement, in my opinion. Same here. Same here. But this guy is saying that he's been working with right here. Thanks yours truly, working with the FBI and Oak Park PD. Harsh interviewed a mental patient? I don't even know. Yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely. He can say anything. I'm surprised that this is still up there. Remember the guy that faked the big scream and what happened? Like that got taken down. What was his name? He got caught faking some other crap before, I guess. I know the term. Yeah, that's it, Joseph Morris. Faking orgasms over there, faking screams. His stuff got taken down. Didn't he lose his channel? So, oh, thank you there, Margaret. Appreciate that comment. Yeah, why is this? How is this still up here if it's not true? How is this not taken down? Because he's. I don't know if you guys heard that at the end. He's basically saying that the house was basically like that people weren't straight, that they were, bisexual or gay, and he's basically coming out and saying that wow. And I don't know if any of this is true, but what I do know is that I'm shocked that this is still up. If it's not, how can this be up? I mean, and then there's this gag order and nobody can say anything about it. No, people can just let this be up there. Like, should we call the police department and ask them if this is true? Yes, Mallory, that is true. Justin William was discharged from the U.S. military. I also have a report that says this was the first openly, gay or transgendered to be out in the U.S. military. Again, I like to vet all my stuff, so until I do enough vetting, I'm saying I don't know, and we need Kim to call the FBI. Oh, that was funny. I sent Justin video right over. Yeah, right. Let's call the White House. F it. Says everybody. The Hudson was the kid that died in the water in 2022 in May. No problem, Mallory. I'm surprised AB isn't all over it yet. But that just, if I told you how many emails I had, text messages, I was like, what is this? And I saw it was only 10 minutes. So that's why I watched it, because it was 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, he was the kid that they said it was an accidental drowning or something like that. Makeup queen. Hey guys, says that cat is delusional. Yeah. Oh, is Justin here? Justin, is this you? Justin, are you Papa Rogers? I don't know if this is Justin right here. Yeah, is that Justin? I don't know. Justin, no, I am not Papa, but you are the Justin. Here, how about this? Copy. Here's the link if you want to take it. I'll just go right to the source. I'm just curious, because I will say this. My investigations into the stuff with Chicago, this is what grabbed my attention here, Justin. Was Tom Johnson and Leslie Jones, because there are ties to Chicago that I found. So no, the only way that I'll let anybody on and talk is if they show their face. He has no problem showing his face. He just did a video. So that was the other thing. This person showed their face, and when they went on camera and said what they said. I just know that law enforcement could have had that down like that, this down. None of it's down. I'm shocked that it's not down if it's not true. So anyways, hey, what's up, Justin? Can you hear me? You might have to hit your button. Okay. Are you able to hear me? You might have to hit something on your end. Here, let me reset it. Maybe you have to like go back out and come back in. I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me, Justin? Let me see what I can do here. I think you might be muted. Here, I'm going to remove you and then come back in. Maybe you just have to like change your volume thing. You have to like hit it before you come in. There you go. Again, my rules always apply. So there will be no, hey mods, listen up. Any hate at all, it's automatic block. Don't make me mod this. Don't make me mod this. Okay. Can you hear me now? I think I got to hear.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Hi. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm all right.
Okay. Yeah, I saw. Is this your post?
Yeah, that's my post. That's my Facebook.
Okay. And you stand by this post?
I do, yeah.
Do you think that they're going to like make an announcement about this, or
It's very possible.
are they trying? So he's in custody.
As far as I know, yes, that's what I've been told.
And when you say that you've been working with the FBI in Oak Park, how long? Like, are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm not actually bound by the gag order because of how I get my information through someone that I know that
Okay.
I've personally worked with, and so I'm free to talk as much as I want.
Okay. Were you? I mean, that was a homicide. Well, it was a double murder in what 2020?
Yeah, May of 2020, I
Yeah.
believe.
Okay, and then and he was Tom was a lawyer for what? Like he did all like the police.
Yeah, he did like state law, federal law. He was on the Chicago Police Board. He was on the disciplinary
That was at
commission.
the disciplinary commission. Yeah, so he
Yeah,
like
yeah.
basically what was it for the cops when he would have to do? He would look at both sides to see if the cops were being funky or whatever. Wasn't that part of it?
Yeah, so the case that he's really famous for is crap, what was it? Laquan McDonald.
Okay.
He did that case. That's what he's really known for.
Okay. And I know you were trying to connect some stuff to make the certain dates match up with Fry being in Chicago.
Yes. So Fry actually applied to the Chicago Police Academy, but they rejected him.
Do you know when
And
that
that was April of 2020, same weekend as Tom and Leslie. But also the position for superintendent of Chicago Police was open, so they were interviewing for that as well.
Did he?
So
interview
we think maybe he did. And even better, on top of that, the Oak Park PD were looking for a new chief of police.
So there's a chance that you think he interviewed for a couple different positions.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because
Okay.
he does have properties here all over the state.
He does?
Yeah, he's got properties in Sauk Village, Peoria. Where else? I'm not sure. Franklin, Jace, Joel, Doug, Craig.
So what made you put out your video today?
Well, actually, funny enough, I saw your stream last night.
Did you?
Yeah. And I was like, wait, hold up. Let me do this first.
Well, see, I mean, my son has 2 moms, so I try to be as respectful as I can to anybody in the way that they want to live their life, as long as my philosophy is as long as you're not harming anybody, and who you want to love and support and all that is your right, and just as long as you're not hurting other people.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
And I don't think that anybody should be, hate to me is something that is completely taught. You're taught that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about racism. It's really disgusting to see. I think that's why I fight so hard for the minorities of, that make up our United States. Because to ever be discriminated or prejudged, and I don't understand why, but
Because people are jerks. That's why.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's more so maybe we fail as parents, because like I said, I think some things are taught, and you wouldn't know that anybody's less than unless you're taught that. So
Yeah, so Fry has property in Park Forest, Sauk Village, and Peoria. So he's got 3 different properties here.
okay. And I could put Brent Kapaka in a bunch of different spots in Chicago, as well as Cleary.
Yeah, Claire Sr. is completely and totally involved in all this bullshit. But Brent is completely innocent. He had nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah, I feel like he got a bad rap.
Yeah, no, everybody has been dragging his name through the mud, and I've been angry about it.
Now, how did you get involved with all of this? If you can talk about it.
What was that? You cut out.
Oh, I said, how did you get involved with all of this? If you're allowed to talk about it, like, I take it you live in Chicago.
Yeah, I live in Chicago. I've basically lived here my entire life. I spent 2 winters in Colorado working for Vail, but otherwise I've always lived in Chicago or the suburbs.
Okay.
But
I'm a Midwest person too.
Yeah, cool. But 2018, yeah, 2018, I was the first openly trans recruit to enlist after the trans service ban got lifted. Yeah.
I saw that.
So because of that,
thank you for your service, by the way.
I didn't even graduate basic because I broke my hip. It was stupid.
You broke your hip?
Yeah, I broke my hip.
How?
I've been on testosterone for 15 years, and it made my bones weaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But because I did that, and because I was in the military, when Pete Buttigieg started running for president, I worked on his campaign with him.
Okay.
And I was helping him write trans healthcare policy that would be better than what exists now, because there are things that trans men need that insurance won't pay for. And those are things that I've had to fight for over time. So that policy proposal would have covered those things that are currently not covered.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you got to work on that?
Yeah, I got to work on that with Pete.
Okay, cool.
And one of Pete's security guys is somebody that I know because we worked together for Pete.
Okay.
So he feeds me clues and riddles to solve, and that's how I get my information.
Okay. Andrea just wants to say, very brave of you to speak out about this, Justin. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I have no problem talking about it.
Yeah, and I feel like stuff like this is really delicate because, you're juggling everybody's emotions, everybody's feelings. And when you're talking about something like this on top of, 4 people being murdered in the way that they were, and everybody's running off every which way, just kind of saying whatever. But I kind of just wanted to hear from you in terms of that was a pretty explosive 10 minutes. And
Yeah, yeah.
you stand by it.
I do. I completely stand by it.
And so Dylan was attacked.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
And for being trans or for something else?
For being trans. Yeah.
So nobody knew this?
Nobody knew until Dylan had surgery in January.
Just like this past January?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so excuse my ignorance then. So is Dylan always been like a woman or
No, Dylan is male to female.
male to female? Okay.
Yeah.
So like how did you guys cross paths, or is it just recent?
I got the information from the person I'm working for and
Okay.
helping out. He specifically chose me to do this because I'm trans and because of my military test scores.
Okay.
So he brought me into the fold because of Dylan being trans, and he wanted me to help her.
Okay, so have you ever talked to Dylan at all, or
I'm supposed to be talking to her on Wednesday.
what's today even? Today's Monday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All my days are confused. Okay.
As long as everything goes to plan, I'm supposed to be talking to her on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens.
And so all your information is coming from your source.
Yeah, all of my information comes directly from my source, who I know in person from working with him on Pete's campaign.
Okay. And did the people so nobody knew anything like this until the surgery?
That's my understanding. My understanding is that the rumor has been going around for a long time, and it could possibly, maybe, be related to whatever happened at Pi-Fi in the fall, because none of us know what happened at Pi-Fi.
What do you mean Pi-Fi in the fall?
There was some sort of thing that happened, and the rumor is that some of the girls either got kicked out or they left.
Okay, so the girls in the house, people that
Yeah.
Okay. And that was in the fall, like this past
Yeah.
fall?
I think it was fall 2021.
Fall of 2021?
I think so. That or 22. I'm not entirely sure.
And then was the surgery like this past January of like 2023 or 2022?
2023, just a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And you mentioned something about I mean, you mentioned quite a bit of things in the video. Do you care to want to like elaborate on anything, or it just the video stands as is, or
I mean, really,
like do you
I don't
think
really
that any
know
of the
what else to
parents
say.
do you think that any parents are going to contact you and say, what are you talking about?
Nobody has, so we'll see.
And no one's like contacted you to say, take that down?
Nope.
Because it's not true. You know what I mean?
Nope.
What about
not
like
a word?
What about like law enforcement?
Nope. Nothing.
Has the media reached out to you at all?
Nope. And honestly, I don't even care about the media. I just want to help Dylan. That's all I care about.
And so like you So what do you know any of the when it's probably better questions for Dylan. Do you think that she confided in any of her roommates and they like accepted her or any of that?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have those details right now.
And you mentioned something about her being speared because of Bethany. Are you allowed to talk about that at all?
So my understanding is that Dylan and Bethany are super good friends. So the people involved with the crime left them alone. But then when they found out that Dylan is trans after her surgery, they couldn't trust her anymore. But also there are...
Why could they trust her before but not after? What would that have anything to do with?
It has to do with the Mormon Church.
Oh, you mean like just their beliefs, and it was like, okay, now she's like a, what do they call it? Like a dark spirit?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. But there are other extenuating factors that go into play with it as well, but I can't really entirely talk about that yet.
Okay. What's your take on her version of the events of seeing somebody in clad black? And
I'm not entirely sure that's what actually happened, because all the different versions of her story that I have heard have never added up to me.
And then do you know where Bethany was that evening?
I don't know. I don't even know where Dylan actually was, because the timelines are so messed up. We can't even place Bethany or Dylan at the house.
Like that evening?
Yeah. So like between 1 and 4, there's really no way to pinpoint exactly where Dylan and Bethany were without getting their cell phone information.
Okay. So Christ Church and the Mormon Church is different though, right?
Yeah, so it's like Christ Church, the Mormon Church, and the LDS Church, but they're all Mormon.
Okay. So you mentioned about Xana being Ethan's beard. Do you have like proof of this, or is it just what your source told you?
It's what my source told me. There are video files and audio files, but I don't know if they will be released.
And then so something that I've been looking into is the Eco Shield.
Whoo boy. That's a whole can of worms right there.
It sure is. Interesting.
So I actually found something interesting about that though. There's a company that's part of Eco Shield, Legal Shield, the Shield in general, and they have a headquarters in Atlanta.
They do.
Yeah, they have a headquarters in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're also in Austin.
But what's interesting about the Atlanta one is Katie Janess and her dog Bowie.
Her dog Bowie, as in the... Is that the animal that got skinned?
No, Katie Janess and her dog Bowie were murdered in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. She was running or whatever. She was walking her dog.
Yeah, she was out walking her dog and she was stabbed to death, and so was her dog.
Oh, I thought her dog was okay.
No, her dog died. Tom and Leslie's dog is okay.
Okay, but the dog was stabbed.
Yeah,
I know.
killed.
It was that in that was what, like a year. I thought they ruled out Brian for that. Weren't they looking at Brian for that unsolved murder?
Yeah, they were originally looking at Brian. I was originally looking at him as well because I didn't have all of the other information that I have now, but Brian did not do it.
Yeah.
But I have a suspicion of who did it, but I can't prove it.
Yeah, I was really, when I saw that video, I was like, okay, this has to come down if it's not true. Why isn't it coming down? Why isn't it coming down? Then I saw this post and I'm like, okay, we're going really, it was just to read this about Chief, Fry. You said when you said we found the 2 smoking guns, we needed to place Fry in Oak Park. When do you feel this will ever be spoken about by? I mean, if the FBI have Fry in custody, don't you think they're going to be talking about that?
What I know is that a whole bunch of shit is supposed to come out on Wednesday. That's all I really know. They're keeping everything very tight-lipped right now.
Well, yeah, they are. There's that gag order.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that because of the way I get my information, he's not outright telling me the information. He gives me the clues to find the information. So that way I'm not bound by the gag order and I'm allowed to talk.
Yeah. So have you talked to Anne before or since any of this?
I don't even know who Anne is.
Well, Brian's attorney.
Oh, I've emailed her a couple times, but her response to me came through my source because she can't technically email me right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So why was everybody murdered?
Ethan had to do with being gay and gay for pay.
That's like the 2.0 thing that I'm talking about with like the, like the OnlyFans on steroids, I call like OnlyFans 2.0, things of that nature. Like,
yeah, that's part of it. Kaylee was killed as revenge for Hannah.
Kaylee?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Maddie was her alleged roommate or something.
Maddie and Hannah lived together their freshman year in the dorms.
Can you prove that?
Sophomore year, that I don't have proof of, at least not right now. But sophomore year, Hannah moved out and she moved into her apartment on Baker Street. Her first roommate was this really sweet little old lady. Then she moved out, and then Hannah's new roommate moved in. That roommate has asked me not to say her name, so I want to keep her out of this.
Her younger roommate?
I'm not sure if she was younger or older. I think her roommate might have been older.
Is that the person that was roommates with her when she passed?
Yeah.
Has she ever spoken about anything? Has she ever put anything down? Was she there? Was she the one that found Hannah?
She was the one who found Hannah. She came home and Hannah's door was shut and locked. So she called MPD. They showed up, knocked Hannah's door down, and found her dead.
And that was the Baker Street, right? That's where she...
Yeah, that was the Baker Street apartment. And I have spoken directly to Hannah's roommate who lived with her at the time that she died. So I have all those conversations screen capped.
Was she ever interviewed by the police? They ever...
She's been trying to get Hannah's file from them since Hannah died. They won't hand it over.
Isn't it a closed case?
Yeah, it is.
So what's the whole... Why can't she get it?
So she was promised the file 3 separate times. Every time that she asked for it, they wouldn't give it to her. And she hasn't known why. Because her dad also tried to get it, and they wouldn't give it to her dad. So some of my friends and I, we put in FOIA requests to get it, and we
Yeah.
couldn't get it.
Did they give a reason?
And
Did you appeal it?
I did not appeal, but I still have the email, so I can forward that to you so you can read it.
Yeah, I would like to take a look at that if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally fine.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I was I kind of just wanted to hear from you directly because like I said, like, I mean, I'm not one to say that someone's lying or they're this or they're that. I kind of just was like, okay, well, how is this still on the internet if it is all not true? Law enforcement should be able to get this taken down. The families, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like if I were lying, somebody would have taken it down by now.
That's what I was saying to myself.
And
And when I saw this, like about, and I was like, okay, well, somebody could be acting like you. And the only way that I could do that is by flushing it out. So I went ahead and that's why I put this up here saying that, all right, well, maybe Justin will see this because sometimes you don't even know when people are doing stuff to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the that Chef Dizzy Twitter that popped up recently,
Okay. Yeah.
all he's doing is attacking me. And he is saying all these lies that just aren't even true.
Do you believe that that's harsh? Isn't that who Chef Dizzy is?
It's not Anon because Anon is in PC.
He is in PC.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah, he's a key material witness.
For the win. He's a key witness, isn't he?
Yep, he is.
I knew it. Fuck Lana. Woo! I called that shit.
So you know how Payne just up and disappeared, right?
Payne did?
Yeah, did you notice that after the PCA came out, he vanished into thin air?
No, I mean, when you say vanish in a thin air, like, is he in PC then? Is everybody in protective?
He is.
Is
He is. He's in
custody?
PC. Yeah, he is. He's in PC.
PC is protective custody. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, because Payne was also one of my sources until they pulled him out.
Really?
Yeah.
So how upset were they when I released the body cam footage of everything?
I don't know. No one talked to me about that.
Because I know that they had that for like a month, like news outlets, like mainstream media.
Oh yeah, that body cam footage, from what I can tell, it's not even really relevant.
It's interesting with the a couple things to me were interesting. The amount of people that were responding for certain things for a noise complaint. Why are there all those officers? Number one. Number two, when you have a ride along, they're not supposed to be all up in that like that.
Yeah, basically those videos are just giving you the proof of the sketchy stuff that's been going on
At the house, yes.
Yeah.
The revolving door.
Yeah, the revolving door of the plug house.
Yeah. So who helped Payne write that PCA? Because it wasn't just him.
That I don't know, but I know it was intentionally written the way it was.
You could tell that.
Yeah, it was intentionally written that way to get BK off.
It was intentionally written that way to get BK off.
Yeah.
So basically, it was intentionally written that way to be beatable.
Yep.
Again, is this your speculation or is this?
That's coming from my source. So.
Has there been any talk about? I told Adam everything.
We still don't know what that is about. Because we don't know where Adam is and Adam isn't talking. And anyone else who knew Unless Dylan and Bethany knew, everybody else who knew what happened is dead.
Why did Harsh do that interview with that lady?
I think it was just for clout, honestly.
Well, because I mean, I caught him lying a couple different times.
Yeah, I think it's really just, I kind of think he likes the attention. That's how it felt to me. It was kind of like an attention grabbing sort of thing because everybody was so obsessed with him in his car.
His car?
Yeah.
What about his car?
He has a little white sedan.
That looks like a Elantra?
Yeah.
Suspect vehicle 1?
Yep. I can't even keep track of how many vehicles are involved in this right now. There's so many vehicles.
So what do you think about Shoop Hall?
Yeah, so the Shoop family are pretty fucking scary. Nothing happens in that town without them knowing about it. They basically run that town.
Why did Cleary have to file bankruptcy in 2016?
That I don't know. I'm still looking into that. Which actually
What
I have that.
was Fry at the bar that night?
Yep. Guess whose truck that is on the CCTV?
You can say it.
It's Fry's truck.
That's what I thought.
And the car on the gas station CCTV, that's not an Elantra.
It's a Sonata.
Yeah, it's a 2017 Sonata, and there's only one person who owns that car.
Let me guess. Is it someone's son?
Yes.
Is it what's his name's son? Is it Mike's son?
Nope. Scott Jr.
It is Clary's son.
Yep. Scott Jr. owns that car.
Was he coming from the White Ave area?
I'm not quite sure, but I know he was in the house and he's one of the killers.
You're coming out of my channel and saying this. What?
Yep. Because he wanted revenge for Hannah. And KG was bullying Hannah. Also,
do you have any proof of this?
Not yet.
So this is all speculation?
I know it to be true from talking to Hannah's other roommate, but that is what it is.
So this is your speculation?
Yeah, I guess we can call it that. But the rumor on the street is that Scott Jr. wanted revenge for Hannah's death. And if you look at the dates of everything, the murders on November 13th were 2 or 3 days before Hannah would have turned 21.
She was born on November 15th, 2000 in Boise. She was the middle child of 3 kids.
Yeah.
They bounced around a lot for him being a lawyer. Do you know why?
That I don't know. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the church, though. But also, Hannah's dad got his law degree at the same time as Franklin Lee. Franklin Lee just took not ownership, but they transferred from Estes LLC to Franklin's LLC.
Okay.
So Franklin basically controls the property, but Estes is still owning it.
What property?
The 1122 Keene property.
So who owns that?
Right now, it's owned by Dan and Scott,
Yeah.
but Franklin basically controls the property through his LLC or whatever. But Franklin and Scott Sr. got their law degrees at the same exact time from the University of Idaho College of Law.
What year? 2000? 2000? Because then he... Are you talking about Scott Cleary?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his and then they all moved to Seattle and they went to Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that here somewhere. Where'd it go? Is it here? No, not there. I have too many goddamn files. Too much stuff to keep track of. No, that's not it. This one. Okay. Oh. Education. So Scott Sr. was at UI College of Law from 97 through 2000.
Yep. And then Ann Taylor went there and she was same time. And then,
I haven't pulled her background yet.
Yeah, I pulled hers today to make sure to double check.
And Franklin Lee graduated from the College of Law in 99. So he overlapped with Senior.
And
so they knew each other from getting their degrees.
And Sheep was there in 99 too.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that Hannah was born in Boise when he's going to school in Moscow. So did him and his wife not live together? Did she live just in...
I have no idea. I can't find anything about Hannah's mom anywhere. I can't even find anything about Scott Jr. anywhere. He's been entirely wiped from the internet.
I found stuff on Amanda just because of their bankruptcy. I was very interested when I came across that. Why would Fry kill 2 people and stab them to death in Chicago?
I think that has to do with the whole Chicago police thing. Because Tom Johnson had a say in all of that. So his bankruptcy was voluntary. It was Chapter 7. They discharged it.
In 2017. It was filed in 2016.
Yeah.
And then the murders were just a couple years later.
Yep.
So let's talk about the drugs. Are there drugs involved with this?
Oh God, yeah. It's wild. It's wild.
Well, what do you know? What do you think you know?
Let's see if I can. Here, let me see if I can put this here. Sign in. properties. All right, now let's see if I can share screen.
Was Brian working before he went to WSU for school? Was he involved in any way with any type of police work, law enforcement?
I'm pretty sure he's a Fed informant. That's my information, is that he's a Fed informant. So I'm kind of a nerd with way too much time on my hands. And let's see. If I scroll in here in Idaho, all of these properties right here, those are owned by Clear Senior and Franklin. And that's in Boise.
Could you pin them to any property in Moscow? Because I couldn't.
Yeah, many.
So
Many properties.
are they doing it with a like a LLC or like a trust?
Yeah, they're like using all these LLCs as like shell companies almost. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so the purple, the pink, this orange one up here, these orange ones, those are like their properties. Those are Franklin, Perky, SD, and Scott Sr. They all have properties right there in Moscow.
Let me ask you a question about a piece of property.
Okay.
It's a warehouse.
In Canada?
Mm-mm. It's a warehouse in...
Because Marcus, the owner of Corner Club, has a business in Vancouver. It is called S&M Distributing.
Interesting.
Scott and Mike Distributing.
It's a warehouse it's 14 Long Water Drive, Rockland, Massachusetts. And then the other one is have you ever heard of Pandas LLC?
No, I haven't. That's new.
Okay.
It looks like I don't have the Massachusetts property done yet.
And then what about them when they moved to Anchorage, Alaska? Why did they move there? Do you know?
I'm still trying to figure that out. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
then
how many properties did I find?
Did you know that Cleary lived in Brazil?
No.
And he speaks fluent Portuguese?
I did not.
So you said
now the only reason I can see them being in Palmer is that they can come through this waterway here, right? And then they can bring everything back down through Vancouver and over the border back into the US.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that I can see them being in Palmer. I don't know why else he would have gone to Palmer. Because that's Franklin's property in Palmer.
And then what about them? What about the burning of incinerating the drugs? Have you heard about that?
I heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay. And then who planted the sheath?
I don't know who planted it, but it was planted.
Have you ever heard of an alias named Rob Hamilton or Rob Whitmer? And have you ever
I'm
heard,
not sure.
and have you ever heard of Church Fuel?
No, those are new.
And then what about what about Cleary? Does Cleary still own that property in Rexburg? 545 South 2nd East.
Yeah, I've got that on my list right here.
You do have that one?
Yeah, I've got that one.
It was an apartment. Do you have
Yeah.
do you have a year associated with that?
Let me see.
And then do you know if they were both in the same fraternity?
I believe they were. That's what I've been told. I've been told they were in the same frat. I don't have any dates for the 545 South 2nd. There's no date here.
Okay. So how do they, of all the people to frame, how does BK, I mean, this is a guy that's just, moves from Pennsylvania. He doesn't know anybody. How does he get?
That I haven't completely figured out. But my theory, and if I'm right about this, which I think I am, BK has been a Fed informant the whole time. Because Dan Estee is former DHS. And Dan Estee is involved with the drugs.
Does it have to do with that broad, that girl?
I have no idea.
With that car?
Oh, yeah, she's involved in this shit. Yeah, Pam G. So the car belonged to Estee. Estee put it up at auction. Pamela got it at auction. But Pamela works for the Shield.
Where was Kaylee taking her job?
Austin.
To do what? With the Shield?
Marketing company. Yeah, like that Extreme Networks, which is one of the shell companies of the Shield.
Who are the three people in the house?
Fry, Cody Funky, Josh Couch, and Scott Jr. 4 people.
So you're saying Scott Jr., Cody?
Yep.
Why was he in town?
Church stuff, I think. I'm not entirely sure why he was in town, unless it was because of the events of that night, if he purposely came for that, which I feel like he did.
And Fry, Cody. Who was the other one you said?
Josh Couch. And Josh Couch is the Chef Dizzy Twitter. And that's why he's freaking the fuck out and trying to pin this on me.
He's trying to pin these homicides on you?
No, but he's saying that, like, I'm all these other people and I've never shown my face anywhere and I'm lying and this, that, the other. And oh, my IP and MAC addresses match the Papa Rogers. And they only said that because of my last name. And every time we ask him to give us the proof publicly, he won't do it because it doesn't exist. And he's sitting there saying, oh, I've never shown my face anywhere. He literally stole my Facebook pictures to create fake Twitter accounts. And not to mention that I have my pictures and videos on my Twitter. I've got my YouTube. So I've already disproven his lies.
So are those juggling fire things, are those like old and he's just pretending that those are recent? Do you know what I'm talking
Anon?
about? Yeah.
Oh, Anon does poi.
What?
Anon does poi, P-O-I.
Okay.
He's a fire dancer.
Oh yeah. I know that. So did he give up like selling drugs?
I don't know if he was involved with the drugs or not. That information I don't have.
So versus all of obviously the dealings in Moscow have been shady, but how would you think that you'd be able to stab 4 people and why? So you're saying that all these people were killed for different reasons, but they just happen to be living in the same home?
It mostly had to do with the drugs and the OnlyFans, which most of them were involved with.
Yeah, like I call it OnlyFans 2.0 because what it was being used for, but
yeah.
But see, like that stuff's so digital and so traceable. So how you get you know what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, I
Like,
see what
like
you're saying.
digital evidence, like Brian's phone being shut off, being turned back on, stuff like that.
Literally everything about this case is on Brian's laptop.
So who was Brian really watching? Was he watching
He was watching SD for the most part.
SD?
SD, E-S-T-E-Y.
Oh, SD.
Yeah.
Got you. The owner.
Yeah, because he's former Department of Homeland Security. So he has the know-how and wherewithal to start the drug ring in the first place and get away with it.
Okay. Go through the day. You like, how did things happen in your opinion that day?
Well, from what I know, they were all lured to the house that night. So how I think this all went down. I think Ethan and Xana had already come home from the ball. I think they were already home. And then Kaylee and Maddie come home around, I think it was like a little after 2, right?
Well, yeah, like 156. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, 156 to go home.
And what trips me up is the DoorDash delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Why does that trip you up?
I have a transcript of a TikTok video that I typed out. I don't know where it is right now, but I have it. But basically, the person in the video is saying that the timeline from the cops is wrong and that everything happened earlier than what the cops are saying. So the DoorDash, we know the DoorDash was so that one of the people could get into the house. And that was whoever Brian drove, because Brian was the driver, but he never went in the house. So the person he drove needed to get into the house. And that's what the DoorDash delivery was for, because he needed someone to open the door.
Because there was no sign of forced entry.
Exactly.
So my question with that is, because I've said this, that you'd want to separate Ethan and Xana.
Yeah.
And you could separate people, but that would also require that nobody else could go open up the door. How do you know that, Bethany wouldn't have opened it, or Dylan, or so we would need like to make sure that Ethan or Xana opened it.
Well, if we assume that Dylan and Bethany were not there, that eliminates them as being able to open that door. So that leaves us with the other 4. Now, they were all home, but I know that Kaylee had accidentally passed out asleep in Maddie's room.
After she called Jack a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because they were calling and texting Jack, both of them, because Maddie was too, as long as that information is correct. And then they fell asleep. So then Ethan and Xana would be the 2 that are awake. The DoorDash comes. If Ethan is in bed, Xana opens the door.
Now, you know how on DoorDash you can just order it and they just drop it at your door. They don't, it's like a touchless delivery system here.
Yeah, we have that too. From my own personal experiences using DoorDash, sometimes they will drop it off and leave it. Other times I have to go get it.
Well, either way, you're going to open up the door. You get what I'm saying? Like either way. So
yeah.
So-
no matter what, you're opening the door.
So what you could do is it's like you would drop it off at the door, and then you usually take a picture, and then like when you get to your car or whatever, then you send the picture to like let your person know that, hey, I drop this off. So what I've been doing is I've been doing samples with that, because I believe that DoorDash is a lot to do with a lot. I don't believe in coincidences, and I've been testing.
Neither do I.
Testing things out with the DoorDash.
And there's way too many coincidences for any of this to be a coincidence. It's strange. I've never dug into something this deep and uncovered all of this stuff that just seems too crazy to be true, but it's true.
And
when
you have a bunch of people though, that's when stuff like loose lips sink ship. So you're gonna sit here and tell me how many people knew about this, and
they all immediately lawyered up.
Fry lawyered up. Just kidding.
I think he did actually. I think he was working with Franklin and Scott Sr. I think they were paying Fry off to be quiet about the drugs.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. That's what I buy into is that this is a small town, and what you want to do is you want to put certain people in charge that you have stuff on, so you can blackmail them so that you can be able to do what you do. So it's kind of like this. If I go down for this, I'm taking this whole damn town down for everything that's been going on. I'm gonna blow the gas. I'm gonna blow the whole lid off this. So unless you want, if I'm going down, everybody's going down.
Yeah, so I don't know this. I don't know this to be a fact. I do not know this to be 100% true. I am merely speculating on this at this point. But if Fry was arrested last week, which I have reason to believe he is arrested.
He was arrested last week?
Yeah. My information says he was arrested on Monday of last week, the day that Dylan was attacked. And if you look at that date, there's my mouse. That date was 2/13/23. Everything about this case revolves around the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Because somebody involved in all of this is obsessed with numerology.
I think I know who that person is. So you stand by this and you stand by the video.
I do, yeah.
But you were given permission to say that, like for Dylan?
Yeah.
Was Dylan's name Dylan before, or are you not allowed to talk about? I don't want to overstep any type of boundaries. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been told about that.
Yeah. I know that, someone's story is someone's story, you know what I mean? And
yeah, I kind of have very little information about her whole process of transition. I don't really have a whole lot of information about it. I just know that she did have surgery in January, and within 5 or 6 days of getting home, she was attacked. So Dylan has been talking to my source, and my source has been telling Dylan about me. So Dylan has been following me. And the fact that I'm trans is why I got brought into the fold in the first place.
So you don't think that you're going to get like arrested for anything that you've put out there?
No. If that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. And I know that I'm being watched by the feds. So.
Great. So now they're watching me.
You'll be fine. You're not a target.
How do you know that? Because I'm a good person.
Yeah, because you're a good person. You don't lie. You don't trash talk.
No, I don't.
Nobody has reason to come after you.
Yeah. In fact, I try to do the opposite, like to not give stuff, the attention. But I said to myself, if this stays on the internet all day today, then I'm going to be mentioning this because here, just in case some people don't know, do you care if I play your video again?
Go for it. I don't care.
Okay, and then here I'm gonna just let me go.
I'm just like, the entire world has known I'm trans since 2018. I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
Okay, so here let me go like this. I want to switch back to hold on. There we go.
These three men.
You can hear it, right?
On Monday of last week, Dylan Mortensen was attacked by three men. These three men, plus an additional man, are the killers who were inside the 1122 Keaton house on the night of November 3rd. Now, I want to name their names, but I probably shouldn't. I've already received threats in the past, and I'm not exactly looking forward to getting more. Due to the extra ridiculous, unconstitutional as hell gag order, Dylan cannot talk and tell her story. But I can. I am working for the defense off the books, and I am not subject to the gag order. Any intel fed to me is through a means of communication that does not break the gag order. That information from my informant gives me legal grounds to speak on this topic and to tell Dylan's story for her. The reason Dylan was attacked is because, yes, Dylan is trans. You heard me right. Dylan is trans. I know this to be a fact. This is information that I exclusively know. I have a middleman, my informant, who is talking to Dylan for me. When I say that I have informants and sources, I'm really not joking about it. They're real and legitimate. I'm also being attacked due to being trans, as I have gotten closer and closer to the truth of what all happened in Moscow. I've been getting more and more resistance, pushback, and I have even had, assault and death threats. Which, for those of you who are responsible for those threats, I've already given them to a lawyer. Have fun with that. I'm absolutely the wrong trans guy to screw around with. I always tell you, fuck around and find out. Well, fuck around and find out. I'm not going to back down from this challenge because I'm not afraid of the challenge. Challenges such as going through the entire process of transitioning from female to male, including 20 full years of transition. That's social, legal, medical, surgical, everything. I have fully transitioned. I am now post-transition, including phalloplasty surgery. I breezed right through it, had all 4 stages done in less than a year and a half. I'm completely done with phalloplasty. So, I'm pretty sure I'm an expert on this topic. Pretty sure it's also not the place of someone who is not trans to be telling this story or talking about this topic. I mean, that said, shall we get to the meat and potatoes of it? Thanks, harsh reality. I'm stealing that from you.
That was funny.
When Dylan was attacked, she suffered kidney damage due to blunt force trauma. Her injuries from this attack are more severe than anyone understands due to a specific combination of medications that Dylan has been taking. These specific medications can cause high blood pressure, heart problems, and type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes is why Dylan was put on lisinopril. Lisinopril treats all 3 of these problems at the same time, which is why they did not give her something stronger and faster acting to treat the kidney problems. The medications would have interacted and caused more problems, which nobody wants, right? So, this is also why Dylan has to have dialysis right now. Because the hormone therapy caused these other problems. And her kidney is at 50% functionality because of the diabetes by itself. And, she has to be on dialysis because of that. And right now, last I was told, she is still potentially waiting for a transplant. Potentially, we don't really know yet. But originally, the night of November 13th, Dylan's life was spared because she was a loyal friend to Bethany Funky. And Dylan had life-changing surgery on January 27th of this year. She arrived home roughly February 7th or 8th. The three men found out about her surgery. It scared them, and it made them not trust her. Which brings us full circle back to Monday, February 13th, 2022. Dylan wasn't supposed to survive this attack. We don't know how they found Dylan or got to her, but they did. Dylan has already been brought into PC before the attack occurred. Dylan is now talking and cooperating in order to help bring justice to all the victims of the events of November 13th, 2022. Dylan wants to come out and tell this story, but she's not being allowed to because of the gag order. I was chosen to speak for her. She has been following me, my story, and she wants to speak to me. Which potentially I will be doing that on Wednesday. There is a chance I will get an exclusive conversation with Dylan on Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to that. Because it's not the place of someone who is not trans to be telling you this information and sharing this story with you. That's the truth of Dylan being trans. And I just think it's really cool that I get to be the one to tell you. It's a big deal that means a lot to a lot of people. I normally don't make these videos. I normally don't out other people. I normally don't tell their stories for them. This is a special situation. There are extenuating circumstances to an absolutely insane degree. And, I'm not going to leave Dylan's side. If she wants to be my friend, I will stay by her side the rest of her life. She is family. I've got her 6. I will not back down from a fight to protect her. I will not back down from a fight to clear her name and restore her reputation. These people who did this need to be brought to justice. And I am hoping and praying that Wednesday, these 3 individuals will go down for what they've done. I hate when trans people are attacked by people who don't want to open their minds and have conversations. They want to jump to false narratives and lies and making trans people out to be something we're not. Because there are a lot of people out there who are not trans, but they are claiming trans, and they're setting just a horrible, horrible example for the rest of us. It's causing those of us who are actually trans to not be taken seriously. And that by itself, that didn't help Dylan at all. That made things worse for Dylan. And I mean, let's think about it. She was in Moscow, Idaho. That town is controlled by Christ Church and the cartel. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. And I have more than enough evidence to back it up. This town is not exactly a place where someone who is trans would want to be. Nor would people who are gay and bi. Which makes sense of why they all lived together in that house. None of them were entirely straight. Not one of them. Ethan wasn't dating Xana. Xana was Ethan's beard. Ethan was bi, if not gay. And he was hooking up with Hudson. And potentially some other people who I'm not going to name their names right now, but they know who they are. And I absolutely cannot wait for them to face justice. Because you don't attack someone who is trans and get away with it. Not around me, not in front of me. It just doesn't happen. I really am the wrong trans guy to piss the fuck off. I keep warning you. Fuck around and find the fuck out. Guess what? You fucked around, now you're finding out. I'm not sorry. And that's the tea. So, until next time, I love you, fam.
Okay. So, what does a beard mean for people that don't know?
Basically, Xana was pretending to be Ethan's girlfriend in order to keep the secret that Ethan was into guys. It was for the sake of appearances.
Yeah.
Which is also making me think about what Quinn knows.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, what is Quinn like? What does he think? How does he feel? Like, what's his opinion on all of this? But he can't tell us because he's not allowed to tell us.
So again, for those of you guys just joining, this is Justin. Justin put out that video. What time was that actually at? Because I swear that was like in the middle of the night, or like
Yeah,
early,
it was like
or
it was like
maybe-
1 or 2 in the morning.
And then, like I said, I was like, okay, this is either complete and utter craziness, and this dude is about to get sued, like mega. Okay, this is not going to stay on the internet. This is not going to stay up there, and I want to see how the rest of the day goes. And then I saw the screenshot that I had up. Where was it? You posted what time was that at?
The Facebook post, or
Yeah, I had it up here. I'm gonna put it back up there.
oh, my internet is so slow. What's baseball? 19 hours ago. So that was like noon, like 2 or 3 in the morning.
So you kind of did it like after it.
Yeah, basically.
Like that came first, is what I'm saying. Like your video.
Yeah. So as soon as you got done with your live, I went and I jumped in the shower, and then I sat down and I made my video.
So I inspired you.
Yeah, you did, because I was like, Lana's figuring this out. Let me beat her to the punch. I was like, let me just steal her thunder real quick.
No, I'm glad that you did. I mean, Jay's been on this path for a minute, so yeah. But I was more interested in the stuff that I was uncovering when I had saw what you had posted about the stabbings in Chicago of the elderly couple.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was everything that drew me into it, because it was all that was very that's all the stuff that I had been working on. So when I saw you post that, I'm gonna actually share that really quick. Or here, do you have something I could put up? I was just gonna. Hey, what's up, Shell? How are you? Good to see you in here.
Yeah, that's what I posted this morning there. I don't know if it's because it's screen sharing that one. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can share a different one, but
here we go. There we go. Yeah, so that was the Facebook post from this morning.
Is that as big
And
as it
it
can go?
is,
Oh, here I can. Okay, yeah, that's good. So this morning, yeah, it said Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Fry has been taken into FBI custody. He is facing a minimum of 2 murder charges. And when you put this out, is this speculation, or are you saying this is where are you getting this from?
the charges are stemming from Tom and Leslie.
Okay, so we found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Fry in Oak Park, which is in right outside of Chicago,
Suburbs
right?
of Chicago. It's about an hour away from me, and I live right by Wrigley.
Okay. So are you a Cubs fan, or are you a
I have Cubs season tickets.
Okay, cool. We can go to a
Yeah,
game.
I'm a season ticket holder. So
Okay. So again, a couple of my videos back, if you're watching the Moscow murders, the little, I'm doing like a documentary style. If you go back, I have the story of Tom and his wife that got brutally stabbed to death, and it has been unsolved. And so right here, when he wrote, we found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Fry in Oak Park at the time of the murders. The bloody shoe prints, along with the knife that has canine DNA on it, sealed the deal. What canine is that from?
from Tom and Leslie's dog.
You
They
found
never clean. They've had the knife the whole time.
they left the knife.
No. The defense team has had it the whole time.
The defense team. What defense team?
So the knife used
To kill
in
these
the
2.
murders, yeah, that knife was also used on November 13th. And that knife has been taken into evidence, and they found canine DNA on the knife. That DNA matches Tom and Leslie's dog. Now, there were also bloody shoe prints in Tom and Leslie's house. There was the latent print they found with luminol in the Keene house. Those 2 prints match.
Where are you getting this from?
My source.
So your source is saying that the bloody shoe prints at Tom and Leslie's
Yep.
match the 1 print that was found at 1122 King.
Yep.
And you're saying that the defense has had the knife, like meaning Brian
Yeah,
Kohlberger's?
Yeah, they've had it for quite some time.
And that the blood on the knife,
The dried old blood was canine
from
Tom and Leslie.
from Tom and Leslie's dog.
Yeah. And what happened is that
It makes perfect sense to me. Basically, guys, the same knife that killed, you're saying Tom and Leslie and their dog, right?
the dog survived. The dog's okay.
Well, okay. So then, what canine blood is it?
They stabbed the dog to keep him quiet.
But the dog didn't die.
The dog did not die. They were not trying to kill the dog. They were just trying to get the dog to be quiet so the neighbors wouldn't hear everything.
Okay.
But also, you want to know why there was no blood trail at the Keene house?
At the King house, why?
They were using tarps to walk around the house. They learned from the Oak Park killing because one of the people involved in all of this is obsessed with Dexter. They learned from the past murder how to do it better and get away with it. But someone screwed up. Someone stepped off that tarp, left a print. They tried to clean it up. but they forgot that the feds would come in and use luminol. That was their fatal flaw.
Thank you there, Midnight Radio. I want to personally thank Lana for bringing out the truth to this story. Well, so, how long do you think that they've had the knife?
Oh, since November at least. Probably really late November, early December, I want to say. I'd have to go back and find it again. Actually, let me see. No, that's not what I wanted to do. DNA evidence recovered and reconstituted from trace residue is helping to rapidly resolve this case, despite an apparent attempt by the perp to mix in canine DNA with human DNA. The dog killed 1 month prior appears to be part of the murderous matrix, except that it wasn't the dog from 1 month prior. It was Tom and Leslie's dog. The dog that was skinned a month prior, his DNA was not on the knife.
And where did you read
that
that
was
from?
A different knife. My source posted it publicly.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? What the fuck did I just do? Sorry about that. Something fell.
So, yeah. DNA evidence. Oh, my windows are a mess. There we go. So I can see you. DNA evidence recovered and reconstituted from trace residue is helping to rapidly resolve this case. So they're saying that the old dry blood on the knife got pulled and they tested it for DNA. Despite an apparent attempt by the perp to mix in canine DNA with human DNA. So the person doing the attacking had human blood and canine blood on that knife because they were trying to cover their tracks, but they failed.
They use the same knife. What a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yep.
I mean, if this is true, I mean,
And I mean, honestly, think about it. Why would I sit here and lie about this? What do I gain from that?
Yeah, no, I don't think I like I said, I think that your that stream would have been down.
Yeah, no, they would have taken everything down had I been lying. Because when I originally posted on Reddit about Scott Jr., they took it all down and I got permanently banned.
When you did what?
I was posting about Scott Jr., Hannah's brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I was proving that the car on the CCTV is his Sonata, not an Elantra. Then I got accused of doxing, which I didn't dox anyone at all because there's no reason for me to do that. And I'm permanently banned from Reddit on that account because I was posting about Scott. And if you've noticed, anything and everything about Scott and Hannah gets wiped almost immediately from the internet.
Yeah. So why would the FBI have 48 people on this from the beginning?
The drugs.
That's
The drugs and the church.
the pipeline.
The pipeline, which starts in Vancouver, goes down through Boise and Moscow, down to Salt Lake, over to Colorado. And if you really, really, really look at that route that Brian drove, he is passing through every single town where there are the properties in clusters the same way as Moscow, owned by the same people, and they're all on college campuses.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of college campuses that you on that route, right?
Yeah, but also they have PO boxes along that route.
First of all, I want to say he's not saying that everybody was killed because of trans. That's not what he's saying at all.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying, guys. That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what he's saying at all.
Please don't take it that way. Please don't take it that way. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's not. People that are writing that in right now, they clearly haven't been here for the whole time. So I'm just making sure that that's known here. Is that you have no idea what I've been working on and following my channel, but it has not. That's not even. This has nothing to do with that. People weren't killed because of the trans world.
Yeah, no,
that's
you're mixing
you're mixing up two different conversations. He was talking about how Dylan had gotten beat up, right?
Yeah. So Dylan got attacked last week for being trans, but before that day, none of this had to do anything with anyone being trans. That was all just rumors until last week.
You know it, Dr. Thrifty. Follow that money. That's all I've been doing. I've been following the property.
Just follow the money.
Follow the money. Follow the property.
The money. The cars. Follow the cars and follow the phones.
Well, that's what. So one of my questions is I thought it was interesting that, do they have the cell phones of all 4 victims? Or
I think they do.
Do they have all 4? That's something that I was curious.
Wait, no, maybe they don't. Because somebody was it?
Because it was very weird. It was very interesting.
Was it Kaylee? Was it Kaylee or Maddie who has the sister who knew her password?
Kaylee,
yeah. So Kaylee's sister has her phone, but I don't know about the rest.
Has her phone or does her password? Because I thought it was very interesting. She's not going to have her phone. I don't think she has her phone. Her phone is evidence. There's no way that anybody has anybody's phones. If that's the case, it's insane.
Yeah.
But everything in that home phone wise, any type of electronic, that's an evidence. So
yeah.
So, but what they could do is you can break. What I'm saying, break into if you have someone's password to get into certain things because they shared passwords. That's what Steve was talking about.
Yeah. So they probably have a way to remote log into the phone account from a computer to access what was on that phone.
Yeah.
And they can probably go into her cloud and see what's in her cloud. Because that would automatically upload it. That would automatically upload on its own.
So you're saying the defense has the knife?
Yeah, they have the knife.
I will give you this. I've said it with some other people. They never had a search for that knife. There was no big search. They've had the mainstream media has been there. How long was Brian from News Nation there? If they would have been, dragging any of the bodies of water, we would have known about it. There's been no go out there. Let's you need the knife. Go get the knife. Where's the knife at?
They have it. Do you want to know where they found the knife?
Oh, God.
It was in Fry's truck. Payne was supposed to get me the chain of custody documents. But he got scared. They pulled him out. I never got the paperwork. But the knife was found in Fry's car, well, his truck, because Fry fancies himself a true crime buff. It's not the first time he's gone rogue.
What do you mean by gone rogue?
He's done other shady stuff, like Tom and Leslie. He kind of likes to go rogue and do his own little investigations by himself and stuff, I guess. That's the way I was told about it. And I was told that Fry will not use guns ever because they're too traceable. So one of the Spyderco knives was in Fry's truck. We think another one is buried.
Okay, when you say like we think, so we don't know, you don't know where it really was found.
What I was told is that it was found in Fry's truck. So take that for what you will. But that's what Payne told me. And then I had someone else come to me.
Payne told you this? So your source is Payne with the knife?
One of my sources. I have multiple sources. But after Payne told me about the knife, someone else, completely unrelated, that I've never even heard of before, showed up in my DMs confirming the same information. And that person told me, oh yeah, hey, the feds are watching you. And it's the same people who released all the phone information. The people who released the phone information flipped.
The people that released what phone information?
The Russians who gave up the pings and all that.
What pings?
Like when they made the timeline with the phones, my understanding is that
you mean like the path that night, that so like Brian's path?
No, like all of the phone pings for Brian.
Yeah, all of his pings.
Like yeah, all of his pings. Apparently, from what I have been told, those came from either Russia or Estonia. And the people who gave Moscow that information have now flipped on them. So they came to me and started giving me information.
Thank you there, Jackie. But Payne's Fry's boy. Why would Payne give up Fry?
Payne's a CI.
He came from Salt Lake, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Fuck, man.
At least I think so.
They had a lot of mofos watching Fry.
So Payne, yeah, he's from Salt Lake City. He also lived in Missouri, Idaho, Utah, Idaho, Missouri, Idaho.
Wait, what part of Missouri?
Waynesville. Uh, 405 Patriot.
Can you tell me anything about the bodies, the any of the damage?
So I'm really, really annoyed about this. The page that got yanked from the PCA, because yes, they did remove a page and try to cover it up that it was a scanning error, and it wasn't. That page detailed all of Ethan's wounds, and it talked about the knives.
Knives is in plural.
Plural, yes.
See, I think that's going to be an issue in court about. I think the ME. So some of my sources said that the lights were on in that house, and that's why this whole thing is going to blow up in terms of that somebody was driving around and waiting for everybody to go to sleep. Well, the majority of the lights were on in that house.
Yeah. Now, there was a rumor on 4chan. So take that for just take that for what you will, right? It's 4chan. But that rumor said that Jack D was watching from his bedroom window. When the lights went off, he called someone and told them it was go time.
Yeah, I don't believe
But
that.
that
At all.
was
4chan can kiss my fucking ass.
Yeah, that was just on 4chan, so I don't even know if that's true or not. But that was a rumor on 4chan. But I do know that Ethan's legs.
Yes, I got those. Yes, thank you for that.
Ethan's legs were cut open down to his hamstrings. And we think kidneys were taken. Because whatever Cody is wrapped up in, whatever he's involved with, it has to do with these rituals and whatever.
So you really think that Fry puts in charge Payne, who then flips on him?
I think he didn't know Payne was going to flip.
I don't believe that you could possibly get all of that done. It blows up their timeline that you can actually do any of that in that amount of time. One person.
Yeah, the whole timeline is just like, I want to sit here and go through it minute by minute and compare it to the footage.
My 3D is almost done. As soon as my 3D model is done, I'll be able to do that.
Cool. Because I'm like, this timeline does not make any sense whatsoever. And like the time windows are just way too small. Especially surrounding Bethany and Dylan. There's nothing there to prove they were home.
I mean, Bethany, and there's nothing to prove that they were home. Is that what we said?
Yeah. So now, I cannot prove if Bethany and Dylan were home or not.
Oopsies. Sorry.
It's okay.
I tried to actually remove it.
It's fine. But yeah, like we cannot prove where Bethany and Dylan were. My source can because he has that information, but I don't have that information. I'm not privy to that yet.
And this is your source is the person that worked with you on the Pete.
Yeah.
You said
yeah.
you have multiple sources, so
Yeah, well, I've got Payne, and then I've got my source that I worked with for Pete. And then I've had residents of Moscow DM me and tell me things.
do you vet them?
I do, yeah. Because the information they're giving me lines up with what Hannah's former roommate was saying, and it lines up with all the rumors about Hudson. From what residents of Moscow have told me is that they all know that Hannah was killed and Hudson was killed, but it's being covered up. And people are paying to make it go away.
Why would they kill them?
Hannah wrote a letter to the governor of Idaho because she was going to flip on all the drugs.
That's what I thought.
Now, Daddy Clear is involved with the drugs.
I heard he's Sugar Daddy 1 and that
Yup. Yup, he is.
that's why the bankruptcy to me is very thank you so much there, Leslie. That's why the bankruptcy to me is really interesting.
Yeah. But also, I keep talking about Hannah. I keep posting about her anywhere and everywhere I can, screaming from the rooftops that I know the truth. Her father has not come at me at all. Her father has not said a single word to me about any of it. And I've been talking about Hannah being killed since December.
I heard that she was stabbed.
Yeah, she was stabbed in the torso. So I think she might have had her kidney taken too. But I don't know because I can't get her autopsy. Moscow won't let me have it.
So I was looking at a couple different things in with the drug pipeline to see when there was major busts where people lost a shit ton of money, or you had to regardless of if your shit gets intercepted or not, you still got to make that payment.
Right.
And the money that would needed to be paid to people that you better make that payment. Doesn't matter if your stuff gets whacked or not. There's a guy that's actually, I think his trial just ended. They're waiting for a verdict. Do you know who I'm talking about? Here, I'll pull it up.
Probably not. I was following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and then
Yeah, no, nothing like this is like
what was I following after that one?
I want you to see this.
And I had started watching the Murdoch trial, and I'm just like, this is a hot mess.
It's a sad mess is what that is.
Yeah. But just like how disorganized the case has been, and the testimonies being all over the place, and it's just been like, I can't really follow it.
Oh, let's see. Okay, yeah, here. Let me share this. That says they try to do like 2 cases in one. All right, so this was, see the date, February 17th, 2023.
Interesting.
Okay. The jury is weighing the fate of Mexico ex-minister, and this is the El Chapo bribes case. He was taking allegedly a shit ton of. I mean, you guys can go look up the story, but this is what's going on right now, and this is the guy that was basically making all the deals happen for the major cartel known as the
Sinaloa cartel. Yeah, they're in Idaho as well.
Yeah.
They basically run Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho, Washington. They have their states, and if you look at a couple different things, if you pay attention.
So from what I have been told, Joe Vado is the connection to the cartel. That's what I have been told. Take that for what you will.
Yep, Kendra, True Crime Goth, yep. And so it's I'm going to eat. Love you all. Bring me some food. So anyways, well, I'm gonna ponder some things here, Justin, and if we could talk off camera, that'd be great. But I wanted to say that, thank you for, I mean, this was not a planned thing. You just popped up here. So thank you.
Actually, one of my followers on Twitter sent me a DM and was like, hey, Lana's talking about you. You need to go look at this.
Oh, well, I want to say that I think that either you got balls of steel, which I don't think, I do believe that I looked up some of your stuff today. I came across that article. I do know that a lot of things are going on in that area in Moscow and other connecting points. Honestly, I just want to see that the families and the victims, that the truth comes out, so that what happened to them, but can't happen to other people. If it's not some crazy stalker, serial killer. That's my take. Is why I just want the truth.
From what I have been told, I don't know how much of this is true, but from what I have been told, Wednesday is supposed to be a very explosive day. From what I have been told, something is happening on Wednesday, but that's all I know. I can assume that there's going to be multiple arrests because that makes sense. But I also think something's going to happen with that gag order, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I have been told is that something is happening on Wednesday and that I am allegedly getting my vindication after all this time.
Well, I hope that everything that you've said is the truth, for the sake of everything. Like I said, I'm gonna go
like
through all my stuff, but I don't have reason to believe that that your intentions are good. You know what I mean? I don't think your intentions are poor. If that makes sense.
No, I have no poor intentions. I have only ever wanted the truth. I wanted answers. Because as soon as I started looking at the 4 roommates, I found Hannah. I found Hudson. I found Joseph. I found Regina. I kept finding more and more and more suspicious deaths, suspicious injuries, and they're all in the Greek system, all of them.
Yeah.
So all of that combined, I dove deep, really deep. And as soon as I started looking at Ashlyn and Josh started sending me threats. So did his buddy Grayson.
Yeah.
And now Josh, who is the Chef Dizzy account, is losing his absolute shit and trying to come at me and spread all these lies about me.
Oh, so
because he knows I'm right.
There's one thing I forgot. I'm gonna pull a Columbo on you. Why was Bethany? Why were they just simply not harmed because they weren't there, or?
Well, Cody is Bethany's brother. So.
Yeah, I knew that. I mean, did people not know that out there? Sorry. Yeah, Cody is.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that Cody is Bethany's brother.
Okay.
And Cody was in the house. He was one of the killers. So Bethany and Dylan were spared. Because Cody's not going to kill his own sister. And his sister's best friend is Dylan. And we don't even know if Bethany and Dylan were home. We cannot place them at the house. At least I can't. I don't have data that places them at the house.
All right. Well, we will pick this up. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Not from you. Not from you. I'm saying
just
like,
long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, it's kind of been a crazy day since I posted that video this morning. My life has kind of blown up a little bit.
Yeah, I said that was going to blow the internet up. I said it's definitely going to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again,
I love that people are making hate videos. Like, I'm so amused that people are making hate videos. It just amuses me. It amuses me.
Oh, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. So that's ridiculous. That's just don't watch it. You know what I mean? Or if you're defaming people, then they have a right to come after you for that. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
But
if I've been talking about Hannah all this time, and her dad hasn't said a word to me, I'm telling the truth. If I were lying, he'd be coming after me because he's a lawyer.
He's a patent lawyer.
Yeah. Still lawyer.
Yeah, no, I wonder what he's been patent lately.
We can try to find out.
We can. All right. Thank you so much, Justin. I just want to say thank you to everybody in chat. Thanks to all the members, subscribers. Thank you guys for listening to Justin. Like I said, just hold on.
Yeah, and I just want to let you guys know, like, I have no reason to sit here and lie to you guys about any of this. I have no bad intentions. I have no intention of, harming anyone, making them feel bad. I'm not trying to offend anyone or upset anyone.
Thank you, JJ.
All I am doing is trying to tell the truth based on the information I have and the information I know.
And see, I applaud that because you guys know what it's like when we know what people can do to hide things, and maybe some of the speculation stuff, throw all that aside.
Because end of the day,
I'm gonna basically have to go watch myself tonight and process a little bit more. But I'm saying that it is not far fetched that people would silence people, and we're seeing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
people
I just want the truth because I think that it will affect other people down the road. If the truth doesn't come out, then other people could be harmed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Some of the residents of Moscow have told me that if they would not have covered up Hannah being killed and Hudson being killed, then the roommates never would have died.
Oh, I
believe didn't do anything.
I believe that. I believe that a lot of things, if I believe that actually in Aliquippa too, if they would have just done the right thing. But it keeps on going. It keeps on going because that's what it is. And that's why I don't know if everything's always connected versus if I know something on you and you are in a power position to help me get like, hey, if you're going to do this favor for me, otherwise I'm going to tell everybody what we did back in, 99, whatever. When you have
Yeah, so I
blackmail-
mean, if I end up being wrong, then I end up being wrong. But I have no reason to not trust my sources. They have never lied to me before, so why would they start now? And why would they set me up like this if they weren't telling me the truth?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean,
And have you called Moscow to ask if Chief Fry's been there?
no, I haven't. I know Fry is kind of scared of me, so
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll make a phone call tomorrow.
yeah, find out for sure. Because there is, someone said Monday of last week there was an arrest. I've been checking the Latah County Jail roster every single day. Whoever they arrested was never on that roster. Now, the only person who would not get put on that roster, intentionally not put on that roster, is Fry.
Well, why would he be in? If the FBI has him, why would he be in that county?
They might have to extradite him. I don't know.
Okay.
But if he was taken to Latah County Jail, if that's where he is, they never put him on the roster.
Cool.
And there's nobody else involved in this case who have shown up on that roster.
Do you know Ben? He is full of crap.
No, I have no idea who Ben is.
$300 to tell you that you're full of crap. Interesting.
Why would I sit here and lie? Why? What do I gain from lying? Come on now. And look at how hard Josh is coming at me to discredit me.
I'm gonna look at a
Because
couple
he's scared.
things.
He's real scared.
I'm gonna look at a couple things. But anyway, Ben, thank you. Thank you. Maybe that was Ben's way of saying, Lana, you're just amazing.
Yeah, let's just go with that. I think that's better.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. Why are you not saying, what is this? Are you mind shook? Is that shock or what's that? Are you not saying your mind? I don't know. Somebody's asking, well, Ben, you're a freaking legend. Someone says $300. It was, again, I just say thank you for the super chat. But Ben, why don't you super chat like $1.99 just to be like, hey, Lana, you're a sweetheart. And I'll be like, thanks, Ben.
Because Ben doesn't like the truth.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, at the end of the day, be kind to one another. We can all have a difference of opinions. We're allowed to. It's just a matter of how we express that. And that's my thing is we can argue we can disagree all day. I don't have to be nasty to disagree. So,
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, we're grown adults. We can have grown
so
conversations.
people can be in chat and say, you know what, I'm going to listen to this, but I don't believe it. That's okay, great. But you don't have to call people names. And I don't think for the most part, I think that was all. I think I try to bring people together versus, isolating and inclusion is the way to go, and being understanding and open-minded. And at the end of the day, I could just say, okay, well, some of this stuff, okay. And then the other stuff, but either way, I wanted to say thank you for your time and thank you for coming on here. Like I said, this was not planned at all, and I just want to
this was completely random, guys. This was completely random. Someone who follows me on Twitter told me to come watch Lana, so here I am.
Well, keep watching her. She's a good egg.
Yeah, I like you now. So
Okay, good. You weren't a fan? Oh man.
I don't know if it was you or if it was someone else, but someone named Lana chewed me out on Facebook recently.
Oh, I haven't. No, that wouldn't be me.
Okay. Must be a different Lana then.
Promise you that. I try to stay away from Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay.
But then again, thank you so much, Justin. We'll talk. Is that your account? Like if I was to message you, or just
Yeah,
email
that's my
me
account.
here? Do you have my email?
I don't know.
Okay. Do Lana at fightforafamily.com. It's all together, but it's the number 4. I'll write it in here just in case.
FIGHT number 4.
Yeah. Lana.
What's
Yeah.
the-
Lana at Fight
what's the
for a
rest?
Family. Oh, I'm sorry. Fight for a Family.
Fight for a family?
Yeah.
Okay. .com?
Yeah.
Right,
Sorry.
.com? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got that written down, so I'll be in
Okay. Yeah.
touch.
Just shoot me an email, then I'll have your email, and then like we can just talk through that. That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. No, not a problem.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you again so much. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Again, thank you everybody in chat. Again, make yourself known. Thumbs it up, thumbs it down. You got a thumb and a voice, use it.
Yeah, all I'm asking is that you listen. I'm not asking you to agree, disagree. Form your own opinions, guys.
Yeah,
Think critically for yourselves.
I'm interested to see what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, me too, because all I know is that something's happening, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll talk then and see everybody. Until next time. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go make myself some soup. Call it a day. Well, and y'all thought I was not gonna go live tonight. Boom. You guys are great. Love you. Oh, happy birthday, Bella. It's 12:01. Oh, man, she's still got another day. Not expecting that, right? Best things come to those that wait. Wait for it. Good Lord. You guys like how I went to members only for typing? I felt bad for the mods. Let's see. Again, thank you guys for modding. I'm sure you guys had your thumbs. I have to get you guys like some like sweaters for your thumbs or something. See you later.